Supremes finally went ahead and overturned Roe v. Wade with a 5-justice majority and affirmed states' authority to regulate abortion. Abortion was never an enumerated constitutional right. Long ago, Roe v. Wade was a very poorly written decision that tried to create a constitutional right out of thin air, what years later Judge Antonin Scalia called, quote, the mystical aphorisms of the fortune cookie, end quote. Wish I had thought of that. Abortions will still be available in the numerous states, and the Alito text expressly ruled out overturning other precedents, such as contraception, interracial marriage, and same-sex marriage. Though I love and greatly admire Justice Clarence Thomas, I wish he hadn't said it. I think he's completely wrong about overturning those particular precedents, stare decisis. There's no indication that the court will go in that direction, as Alito put it very well in his commentary. Now, look, as I've said in the past, and I'm always going to put my cards face up on the table, I'm a strong pro-life advocate of the rights of the unborn. I appreciate that many disagree with me, and I respect their views, but that is what I believe. People talk about the women's right to choose. I understand the importance of that, but I always ask, who will speak for the unborn? They are God's creation. I am one of the many, many, many millions of people who will try to defend their right to live. We have lost 63.5 million human beings since 1973, that according to the Guttmacher Institute. In recent years, the volume of abortions has come down significantly per year, but it's still lately hovering over 600,000. That is an awful number. Lives lost, God's creatures. Of course, the issue of abortion is principally a moral issue, one of the most important we ever face in policy discussions, but it is also an economic issue. And I repeat what I said a couple of months ago when the Roe issue first emerged from the leaked memo. Think of what a boon and a blessing it would have been to the economy if all those babies had come to term and grown up to avail themselves of America's great opportunities. You know, countries with rising populations are countries with rapid growth rates, provided they practice free market principles. To me, every baby lost is tragic. I'm not ashamed to say it. It is my viewpoint. I respect disagreements. Also, I want to give a hat tip to my former boss, President Donald Trump, for his successful court nominees, Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett. They had lots to do with today's decision. Now, of course, Joe Biden's attacking the Dobbs decision, arguing that the health and life of women are now at risk, arguing for an extreme bill floating around Congress called the Women's Health Protection Act, which among its many tragic parts would even allow for late-term partial birth abortions. A horrid thought. Fortunately, while the majority of Americans regard themselves as pro-choice, 55% according to the Gallup poll, inside that number, 67% support first trimester abortions, but only 36% second trimester and a scant 20% third trimester. That is why the far left position of unrestricted abortions, represented by Mr. Biden and his allies, will never be popular throughout the country. Biden's trying to scare people that the world's come to an end. It's a familiar tactic of his, but it's not going to work. When the dust clears, folks will see this court decision changes very little, if anything, except it upholds the originalist constitutional view and it re-empowers state legislatures and the voters who elected them. This is how it should be. Mr. Biden may seek to use Roe as a distraction from what is really America's #1 political issue, and that is record inflation and gas prices. I believe this will not be a Roe election. This will be an inflation election. And Mr. Biden's self-inflicted mistakes, his war against fossil fuels, his war against business in general, his free spending and borrowing policies, all of which were the true causes of inflation, not Vladimir Putin or villains like the oil companies. These self-inflicted mistakes will cost Mr. Biden and his progressive friends that have taken over the Democratic Party, will all cost them enormously at the polls in November when the cavalry comes. And that's my writ.